September 28th is not a normal day. On the calendar, it looks like any other date, but when it arrives, it will not feel ordinary at all. This day carries a hidden energy. You won't see it, but you'll feel it in your body. Sudden headaches, strange dreams, pressure in your head, ringing in your ears, tears coming for no reason. Most people will ignore these signs. They'll call them stress. They'll call them random. But they are not random. They are messages. September 28th is a doorway, a trigger. When it opens, your body reacts first because your soul knows something bigger is moving. That's why you cannot dismiss what happens on this day. The signs are here to wake you up. So stay with me. But first, like this video, subscribe to this channel, and type the number 777 in the comments. September 28th is more than a date. It is a point when energies in the universe align in a very rare way. Think of it like the sky turning a hidden key. When that key turns, a wave of energy moves through the earth and through you. This is not just science. It's symbolic. It's like a light being switched on in a dark room. Suddenly, what was hidden inside you begins to show. Old emotions, old fears, even old habits rise to the surface, not to scare you, but to be released. That's why you feel it so strongly in your body, your head, your heart, your emotions. They are adjusting to a new frequency. Your soul is trying to match the rhythm of this day. And why does it matter? Because September 28th is not here to break you. It's here to wake you. It's a chance to step out of the old version of yourself and walk into a new beginning. Right now, many people are feeling emotions they can't quite explain. A sudden wave of sadness in the middle of the day. Nostalgia that hits without warning, as if memories are being pulled out of nowhere. Anxieties that rise for no clear reason. These are not mistakes. These are not random moods. These are the body and soul reacting to a higher current of energy. For some, it begins with sudden tears. Not tied to a thought, not connected to a story, just emotions spilling over. This release may feel confusing, but it is cleansing. The body is letting go of what the heart no longer needs to carry. Others notice their sleep changing. Dreams become vivid, colorful, and filled with people or places you haven't thought about in years. These are not ordinary dreams. They are messages. Your spirit is using the quiet of the night to show you what is buried in your subconscious. There are those who feel it as tension in the head or heaviness in the chest. Pressure that comes and goes almost like waves. These sensations are not here to harm you. They are signs that your inner energy is adjusting to something higher, something new. When we step back and look at these signs, one truth becomes clear. Symptoms are evidence of a great spiritual awakening. They show that your system is responding, that your soul is not asleep. It is very much alive and in motion. Think of it like the earth in springtime. At first, the soil looks lifeless, quiet, unchanged. But beneath the surface, roots are breaking, seeds are pushing upward, the ground is shifting. That's why the process feels heavy. It is the weight of new life forcing its way through. The same thing is happening inside of you. Notice how your relationships feel different lately. Some people no longer match your energy. Conversations that once flowed now feel draining. On the other hand, you might feel drawn to new connections that bring peace, growth, and deeper meaning. This is your inner compass realigning, guiding you toward what supports your awakening and away from what holds you back. Habits are changing too. The things you used to tolerate, endless scrolling, shallow conversations, ignoring your body's needs suddenly feel heavier than before. That's because the old version of you is fading. The new version won't accept what drains your energy anymore. And yes, the process can feel lonely. Growth often feels that way because you are leaving behind a world that once felt familiar. But loneliness is not emptiness. It is space. Space for the new people, new opportunities, and new strength that will enter once you let go of what no longer fits. So pause for a moment and reflect. What emotions keep rising in you lately? What relationships feel heavier than they used to? What habits no longer bring comfort? The answers matter because they are the messages written inside your symptoms. This is not the end of your story. It is a doorway into a new chapter. What you feel right now is not proof of weakness. It is proof of awakening. September 28th is not what you think, and perhaps that's the reason it carries so much weight. On paper, it appears simple, unremarkable. Yet when the day unfolds, it's like a hidden current moving through every layer of life, stirring things you didn't know were waiting to be stirred. It doesn't knock politely. It rushes in, and suddenly you are standing in the middle of questions you didn't even realize you were ready to ask. It's easy to dismiss these shifts as random moods or meaningless distractions. But what if they are guidance in disguise? Think of a compass that refuses to stop spinning until you begin walking in the right direction. Every inner nudge, every surge of emotion, every restless spark of curiosity, Is that compass at work pointing toward a version of you that you haven't fully stepped into yet? So where does that leave you? Imagine carrying a backpack that's grown heavier over the years. At first, you don't even notice it. You've grown used to the weight. But as the path gets steeper, every unnecessary object inside slows you down. The energy that moves through this moment is asking you to open that backpack, to sort through what you've been carrying. Old grudges, outdated beliefs, worn-out routines. These are the stones that make the climb harder than it has to be. This is where practical wisdom comes in. You can't move forward by pretending the weight isn't there. You move forward by choosing what's worth keeping and what belongs to the past. The process doesn't have to be dramatic. It can be as simple as asking yourself, does this still help me grow or does it hold me back? That single question repeated over time is a knife that cuts through illusions. And growth doesn't only happen in big sweeping gestures. It happens in the quiet choices you make every single day. Think about the voices you let into your life, whether through people, music, or even the words you repeat to yourself. Are they building you up or breaking you down? Energy moves like water. It takes the shape of the container you give it. If you surround yourself with negativity, you become a vessel for it. But if you feed yourself inspiration, kindness, and truth, you become a river that overflows with it. There's also the matter of trust. Trusting your own inner signals. Too often we wait for confirmation from outside sources, waiting for permission to change, to grow, to pursue something different. But guidance has been inside you all along, whispering through instincts, gut reactions, and quiet insights that appear when you least expect them. To ignore them is to shut the door on the very thing that could move you forward. To honor them is to plant seeds in soil you never realized was fertile. Let's talk about relationships. They are mirrors, each one showing you something about yourself. Some reflect your light, reminding you of your strength. Others reflect your shadows, pointing out the places where healing is still needed. Neither is meaningless. Both are teachers. But when a connection consistently drains you, when it keeps showing you only pain without growth, that's the universe handing you a lesson about boundaries. Not every person you meet is meant to walk the whole journey with you. Some are chapters, not the whole book. And then there are habits. They may seem small, harmless even, but stacked together, they create the life you live. Imagine your daily patterns as brushstrokes on a canvas. One careless stroke doesn't ruin the painting, but repeated often enough, the image changes. The question is, do those strokes create art you're proud of, or do they cover up the picture you were meant to paint? The energy at this time is like a reset button, not in the sense of erasing everything, but in giving you clarity about what truly matters. It's the difference between noise and music, clutter and clarity. You begin to realize that growth isn't about adding more, but about clearing space for what already wants to bloom. Practical steps can help anchor this clarity. Try starting with small rituals of awareness. When you wake up, instead of reaching for distractions, pause and ask, what do I want to bring into today? That simple act sets the tone. At the end of the day, reflect. What did I give my energy to? By asking these questions consistently, you teach yourself to see patterns you might otherwise miss. But here's the deeper truth. Awakening is rarely comfortable. Growth is like stretching muscles that haven't been used in years. There is resistance. There is discomfort. Yet behind it lies strength you didn't know you had. Think of a tree growing roots. It pushes against the soil. It struggles against rocks. Yet it keeps going because reaching deeper is the only way it can rise taller. So when the emotional storms come, don't rush to shut them down. Learn from them. Anger might be telling you where boundaries are missing. Sadness may be showing you what needs healing. Longing might be pointing you toward a future you haven't allowed yourself to imagine. Every wave has meaning if you allow yourself to see beyond the surface. The mistake most people make is expecting clarity to come all at once, like lightning breaking the sky. But clarity often arrives like dawn, slow, steady, impossible to stop. At first, you barely see the shift. Then before you realize it, the entire landscape is lit. That is how transformation works. Not overnight, but step by step, moment by moment, until you look back and realize how far you've already traveled. This moment in time is calling for honesty, brutal honesty if needed. Ask yourself, what am I pretending not to know? Those questions can be unsettling, but they also hold the key to freedom. Ignoring them doesn't make them disappear. It only delays your awakening. Facing them, however, brings power back into your hands. And finally, remember that you are not meant to walk this path in isolation. While the journey is yours alone, the energy moving through this season connects us all. Your growth inspires others to grow. Your courage opens doors for people you may never even meet. Transformation is contagious. It spreads like sparks in dry grass, quietly igniting lives you didn't realize you could touch. This is why the energy of now is so important. It's not just about you, it's about all of us. When you rise, you lift the collective. When you choose truth over fear, healing over silence, purpose over distraction, you become part of something far greater than yourself. That is the real meaning of this awakening. It ripples outward, touching more lives than you'll ever know. Growth always comes with change, and change rarely feels simple. At first, it unsettles routines, stirs emotions, and rearranges priorities. Yet, this disruption is not here to break you, it's here to shape you. Think of a sculptor with a block of stone. Every strike of the chisel looks destructive on the surface, but each mark is uncovering a masterpiece hidden inside. That's what this season of energy is doing to you. It's carving away what no longer belongs so that the real you can step forward. One of the most powerful ways to meet this energy is to slow down enough to listen. Too often life becomes noise, constant movement, endless distractions, conversations that go nowhere. When everything is loud, guidance becomes hard to hear. Silence, on the other hand, is not empty. It's full of signals you can finally catch when the volume of the world drops. Even a few minutes of stillness each day can be enough to let insight rise to the surface. Then comes courage, because insight without action changes nothing. Think about the times you knew exactly what you needed to do, but delayed because of fear, comfort, or doubt. This wave of transformation demands that you act differently. It asks you to stop clinging to doors that are already closed and step towards the ones that are waiting to open. Relationships play a massive role in this. Some connections will strengthen, becoming anchors that keep you steady. Others will loosen, showing you that their time in your life has ended. Both are equally important. A connection that stays becomes a source of support, while one that fades clears space for new alignment. Neither should be judged. Both should be respected for the role they played in your story. Energy shifts also reveal patterns you didn't realize were running your life. The way you reach for distractions when uncomfortable. The way you silence your own voice to keep the peace. The way you overextend yourself trying to please others. Each of these patterns is like an outdated program running in the background, draining power without you even noticing. This moment offers the chance to uninstall what no longer serves you and write new codes of behavior that match who you're becoming. Practical change doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it looks like going to bed earlier, drinking more water, or finally having that conversation you've been avoiding. These may seem small, but they're signals to yourself that you're choosing differently. And once you start choosing differently, momentum builds. It's like turning a wheel. Hard at first, but easier with each push. Another truth worth remembering is that growth often asks for patience. Transformation is not a straight line. It's a spiral. You may revisit old lessons, run into familiar emotions, or stumble over similar challenges. That doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're going deeper each time, peeling away another layer. Think of climbing a mountain path that circles upward. You may pass the same view more than once, but each time you're higher than before. You may also notice your creativity waking up. Inspiration comes out of nowhere, pulling you toward writing, painting, dancing, building, or simply imagining new futures. Creativity is not only for artists. It's for anyone choosing to design their life with intention. Every decision you make is an act of creation, shaping your world like clay in your hands. Physical sensations may come and go too. Some days you'll feel lighter, like you're walking with clarity. Other days it may be heavy, as if everything is slowing down. Both states are important. The lighter days remind you of what's possible. The heavier days are moments of integration when your energy is adjusting to everything you're learning. Neither is permanent. Both are part of the process. In moments of heaviness, grounding practices help. Walking outside, placing your hands in the earth, moving your body with intention. All of these anchor you. They remind you that while energy flows from above, your strength grows from connection below. You are both cosmic and human, spirit and body. Balancing the two keeps you centered. Community matters here as well. Surround yourself with those who encourage growth instead of fear. The company you keep is like soil for a plant. It determines how well you thrive. In the right soil, roots stretch deep and branches rise high. In poor soil, the plant struggles no matter how much potential it carries. Choose your soil wisely. As transformation unfolds, old stories about who you are will surface. Narratives like, "I'm not enough," "I always fail," or "nothing will change for me." These voices are echoes of the past, not predictions of the future. The fact that they surface means they're ready to be rewritten. Instead of fighting them, thank them for showing you where healing is needed. Then replace them with truths that match who you are becoming. Purpose is another theme that rises during times like this. Suddenly, questions about meaning and direction grow louder. Work that once felt fine now feels hollow. Activities that once entertained now seem empty. This isn't boredom. It's a call to align with something deeper. Purpose doesn't always reveal itself in one grand vision. Sometimes it shows up in small sparks. What excites you? What brings peace? What makes time disappear? Follow those sparks. They are breadcrumbs leading you home. There's also power in gratitude. Not the kind you force, but the kind you allow. Gratitude shifts energy like sunlight breaking through clouds. It teaches you to focus not only on what's missing, but on what's already supporting you. Even in hard seasons, gratitude acts like a bridge, carrying you over fear and reminding you of the strength you already hold. This chapter in life asks for balance between movement and stillness, giving and receiving, letting go and holding on. Too much of one without the other creates imbalance, but when both work together, harmony appears. Like music, notes on their own are nothing, but when rhythm and silence dance together, the song emerges. And while guidance comes in many forms, intuition, synchronicities, lessons through people, it all points to one truth. You are not powerless in this process. You are an active participant. You have choices, and those choices matter more than ever now. Every step you take with awareness shapes the path ahead. Each time you choose authenticity over pretending, each time you choose love over fear, each time you choose growth over stagnation, you align yourself with the higher rhythm moving through this time. That alignment doesn't just change your inner world. It ripples outward, touching everyone connected to you. So this is the invitation. Step into the unknown with trust. Carry the lessons of the past, but don't let them chain you. Allow yourself to be shaped even when it's uncomfortable. Choose what nourishes your soul and release what drags you backward. Know that you're not walking in circles even when it feels repetitive. You're spiraling upward closer to the truest version of yourself. The path ahead may not always be smooth, but it will always be meaningful. This is the moment when your choices become louder than your fears, when your inner compass points toward horizons you've never walked before. And while you may not see the full picture yet, every step you take is painting it in real time. Tonight, the sky holds a current that refuses to be ignored. September 28th has been building quietly in the background, but its purpose is not quiet at all. It arrives like a reminder, not of what you have lost, but of what you are still capable of becoming. All the scattered emotions, the unusual moments in your body, the waves that pass through your days, none of them have been without meaning. They have been pointing you here to this threshold where hesitation no longer has a place. When you stand at a turning point, the weight of the past is heavy. Old routines whisper that you should return, that comfort is safer than change. Yet deeper within, another voice insists that you have carried your old story long enough. This is the inner conflict that rises before transformation. The part of you that clings to what is known and the part of you that demands something more. You already know which voice you must follow. Imagine holding a key in your hand. You've been carrying it without realizing it fits the lock you've walked past 100 times. Tonight is the moment you finally place it into the door. The hesitation, the doubt, the waiting, none of it matters once the door opens. On the other side is not perfection but possibility. And possibility is far greater than certainty, because it gives you space to expand into everything you've been holding back. Your body has been speaking in signals. A sudden rush of emotion that caught you off guard. A wave of nostalgia that seemed to pull you backward. An unexpected tear that arrived without reason. These moments have been guiding posts, evidence that a greater awakening is unfolding through you. They are not weaknesses, but proof of sensitivity. Proof that you are connected to something far larger than your everyday routine. This is the climax where resistance can no longer disguise itself as safety. The storm of doubt may still try to return, but the question is no longer whether you are capable. The truth is that you are, and you always have been. What changes now is your willingness to act from that truth. Every hesitation you release becomes momentum. Every small choice you make toward authenticity becomes fuel for transformation. So here's the challenge. Step forward even if the path looks uncertain. Speak words you've been holding back. Choose actions that honor who you truly are. Refuse to shrink into the version of yourself that the past expects. This is your turning point and the call is clear. Rise to meet it because the time for waiting has already ended. Not every chapter in life announces itself loudly. Some enter quietly like a change in season. Subtle at first, but undeniable once it takes root. This stage you're moving through carries that kind of quiet power. It doesn't need noise to be real. It shows itself in how your priorities shift, how conversations that once drained you no longer hold your interest, and how your attention drifts toward things you used to overlook. These are signals steering you toward alignment with who you're becoming rather than who you once were. Part of stepping into this alignment is giving yourself permission to release the weight of unnecessary comparisons. For too long, the measure of worth has been tangled in what others are doing. Who seems further ahead? Who seems happier, richer, more fulfilled? But comparison is a thief that disguises itself as motivation. The truth is, no two paths are meant to look the same. Growth that belongs to someone else cannot satisfy your soul. This is your journey, and only your rhythm matters. Right now is about reclaiming attention. Where your attention goes, your life follows. Most of the noise around you is designed to pull your focus away, to scatter your energy into 1,000 directions that never lead anywhere meaningful. But when you choose to direct attention toward what matters, whether it's nurturing your body, improving your space, committing to a goal, sometimes, though, clarity doesn't arrive all at once. It comes in fragments like puzzle pieces scattered on a table. One conversation gives you a clue. One unexpected challenge reveals another piece. Another layer of guidance is creativity, not in the traditional sense of producing art, but in the way you shape solutions. Imagine alternatives and design your days. Creativity is simply applied imagination, and imagination is the tool of transformation. When old ways no longer serve, imagination provides new routes forward. Every time you choose to think differently, you are rewriting what is possible. Transformation is rarely quiet. It arrives in ways that stir emotions, shift priorities, and remind us that nothing is fixed forever. September 28th marks such a threshold, a point where the ordinary opens into something much larger. Throughout this journey, signs have been guiding the way. Moments that seem unexplainable, emotions that rise without reason, and sudden sparks of clarity that refuse to fade. None of this has been random. It has been proof that a higher current is moving through, urging you toward change. Hope is not distant. It is already here. Every decision to grow, every step toward alignment is part of the awakening unfolding in your life. The future is not waiting on permission. It's waiting on courage. And the more you lean into it, the more powerful the transformation becomes. Now I want to hear from you. Share in the comments what signs you've been experiencing. Your story may inspire someone else who is searching for meaning in their own journey. And while you're here, don't forget to subscribe and tap the bell, because the messages still to come will guide you even deeper into this path of awakening. Stay connected, stay aware, and prepare yourself for what's ahead. The story is still being written, and the next chapter is coming sooner than you